7 seniors, 3 freshmen.
About the place that it put us, and the quarantine hit, and we knew we had guys that were going to work hard at home, but just the idea that we could get a lot of them together working hard at a location where people know what they're doing was really beneficial. And I think that training did a great job for those guys to kind of get the ball rolling for them, and they came back in the end of June, early July, and it's like they hadn't missed a beat. They were flexible, they were fast, and ready to lift and run and start playing football, so it was a huge benefit for us.
To gain an edge on your competition, it starts with a free one-on-one performance assessment. Call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
Someday, you'll get your knee replaced. Someday, a new hip. Someday can be sooner than you think. At Parkview Ortho Hospital, we want to help you get moving again. So we offer a full range of options for joint pain, including outpatient joint replacements and personalized solutions. It's time to reclaim your life at Parkview Ortho Hospital, because someday is today. Learn more at parkview.com/ortho. Parkview, we believe in.
And welcome, everybody, to Bishop Dwenger High School. It is good to be joining you for high school basketball. I'm Thad Goff alongside Andrew Wiss, and we've got Bishop Dwenger taking on New Haven. Well, somebody's getting their first win of the season tonight. It's either going to be New Haven or Dwenger. These teams are winless going into play. Of course, New Haven coming off a game against Garrett. That's a pretty good Garrett team that's coming off a sectional championship. But one of these teams is going to get their first win of the season tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And despite the fact that both teams right now are 0-4, they got to be thrilled that they simply get to play these games, because the great disruptor, COVID, is obviously amongst us, and this is why we're in a gym here at Bishop Dwenger High School with 0 fans. And so we're thrilled here at Summit City Sports to be bringing this to you. But you're right, Coach Bratton and the Bulldogs looking to, I would say, upset, despite the fact that both teams are 0-4, the Bishop Dwenger Lady Saints. We'll see how it turns out tonight.
Well, both of these teams, they're not necessarily short on experience. Now, Myquisha Broughton is in her second year as the head coach at New Haven, but she comes from a very successful program. She was an assistant coach at Bishop Luers, a team that's been coached by Mark Pixley these last 6, now 7 years going into this year. So certainly no doubt some winning experience that Coach Bratton has on her resume. And head coach Steve Wiktorowski, he was a head coach of the high school boys team at Wawasee, and also coached college basketball at Goshen. He coached the women's team there and got off to a good start last year in his first year with Bishop Dwenger, but then things turned in the wrong direction, hoping that maybe that this year can have a bit of the opposite effect, maybe an even better effect. Obviously, an 0-4 start is not what you look for, but Coach Wiktorowski no doubt has plenty of experience, certainly knows the game extremely well, and that could certainly play in Bishop Dwenger's favor.
Yeah, and you're right with the rosters. Even though New Haven's short in numbers, they had an ACL injury, they have a COVID out tonight, they also have a concussion out tonight, but 7 seniors on the roster for Coach Bratton, and for Coach Wiktorowski, Coach Wick as they call him, 6 seniors. And if you count Lexi Linder, she's been playing at the varsity level since she was a freshman here for the Saints, and so a lot of experience for the players, coaches as well. As you said, should be a fun one.
We got the national anthem coming up here on SummitCitySports.com. And with that, I believe we will have the announcement of the starting lineups. We'll go ahead and get in one word from our sponsors. Today's broadcast is brought to you by SummitCitySports.com. Follow us on Twitter at 260sports, and like our Facebook page, Summit City Sports, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Kelly Automotive Group is Indiana's #1 automotive group with over 1,000 new vehicles and 500 pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Please visit drivekelly.com. Apologies there, folks. Of course, they had the prayer just a moment ago here at Bishop Dwenger Catholic High School. Go ahead and finish out that quick sponsorship before we get started. Kelly Automotive Group is Indiana's #1 automotive group with over 1,000 new vehicles and 500 pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Please visit drivekelly.com. Simple, transparent, and reliable. And now we are ready for the start of this game between the New Haven Bulldogs of the Northeast 8 Conference and the Bishop Dwenger Saints of the Summit Athletic Conference. That's Maggie Cheever to tip it off for the Saints against Caitlin Kepke, and the tip is going to be won by the Saints.
Yeah, and for the Saints, 4 seniors and Linder out there. Linder on the point. For the Bulldogs, 3 seniors and the 2 freshmen, including on the ball right now. Kepke, the 6-foot freshman.
Little pull-up jumper gets blocked and goes out of bounds, and that was Kayla Williams.
I think the governor just shut down parties, but Kepke might throw a block party tonight. We shall see. There's one already.
Feed over to Cheever, and here's Linder looking down low. And there's a pull-up 3 that does not go from Rachel McCarthy, and that's going to be chased down. I believe that was Ortiz Vaught. Check that. That's number 25, Savannah Weekly. This is Kayla Williams with the basketball, and she is guarded by McCarthy, Rachel McCarthy. I believe I did a couple of her AAU games during the summer. In fact, I think she actually was part of a little camp that took place on a Sunday morning down in Warsaw. Here's a pull-up jumper by Williams. That doesn't fall. The putback doesn't go, and a foul called. Looks like they're going to get Claire Frazier for that one.
And a couple of lefties in the lineup for New Haven. That was Williams on the ball. You're right, 35. And she's got some size, a 5'9 senior. And then Kepke as well, a lefty. So we'll see how that plays out. Nard going to have a chance to score the first 2 points for the Bulldogs.
They get one.
No jinx there. Nice job, Nard.
Varsia Nard, the 5'8 senior, gets the first point of the game for the Bulldogs. And that ball's knocked out of bounds, and they're going to say Dwenger ball. That was close. Frazier looked like she got a hand on it. Maybe somebody came in there from behind. But it is going to be Dwenger ball. Rachel McCarthy with it. Check that. That's McCarthy who's got the ball now off the feed from Victoria Parent. Beg your pardon, Tori Parent is what she goes by. Now, Linder's a good three-point shooter, but she'll go the dribble drive here. Puts it up off the glass. That's no good. Cheever, the offensive board. McCarthy a little bit long on that three, and back down the floor come the Bulldogs. Already with the 1-point lead. That ball almost gets away from Nard. She goes baseline, little up and under, and it goes.
That's a tough angle. She had the baseline with no opportunity to use the backboard. Somehow found it and give Nard another bucket. My goodness, that was difficult.
A cut by McCarthy. Tries to back her way in, and Cheever will swing it across court to Linder. It's a tough pass to make for Cheever, but Linder was in a good spot, and traveling is going to be called on Victoria Parent.
And one thing going to be important to watch tonight is New Haven's foul situation. Only 7 players in uniform. Again, a concussion tonight, a COVID out tonight, a player missing. So normally 9 on the roster, but just 7 in uniform, and they're going to have to play without fouling tonight.
That shot does not go, and the rebound is lost by Frazier.
And you could see her wanting to look to run there. Obviously, the ball just got away from her. And Nard going to inbound for the Bulldogs. Get a look at their set here.
You just heard head coach Steve Wiktorowski telling his players, watch the screens as the inbound comes to Williams. Williams with the floater, and she hits it.
And you could see her wanting to run her offense, but with the pressure out there, you want to make one quick move and simply attack with your head up. She had a tough shot there, but hit it. But give her pressure. Put the ball on the deck and attack the hoop.
This is McCarthy at the top of the key. New Haven in the man-to-man. That's a long three by Linder. Couldn't knock it down. There's Cheever on that offensive glass. Trying to battle to keep that ball alive. And the possession arrow gives it to New Haven.
Man, you like that Kepke there, just a freshman, but dive on it, get on the floor, get a tie-up.
Well, in spite of the fact that that jump ball goes to New Haven, by my count, that's 2 offensive rebounds already for Maggie Cheever.
And you see the full court pressure again. Only 7 players in uniform for the Bulldogs. If you can wear them down, this press, you might not get a bunch of steals here for layups, but you might also wear this New Haven team down come the second half.
That pass gets away into the backcourt. That's over and back. It's going back to the Saints. And so Claire Frazier will put it in play. Puts it in high to Cheever. McCarthy was thinking about the three. And now here's Linder off the screen. Could not hit the jumper. Cheever the board. Puts it back.
Simply no box out there. Cheever simply ran to the rim. Hands above the shoulders. That might be her easiest 2 points of the night.
Traveling called right after the inbound.
And don't be surprised if the Saints can score here, that they put that press back on now 2 times and 2 turnovers.
Inbound goes to Cheever there at the top of the key. Frazier a little bit strong off the glass, but she tracks down her own miss. Cheever puts it home.
She could not do that last year. Just great footwork there. Didn't put the ball on the deck. Able to shoot over the defender.
Full court pressure again by the Saints. Loose ball, but Williams is eventually able to regain her dribble. It's loose again. And now the Saints do get the turnover. They take it away from Kepke. McCarthy shuffled the foot. Well, Dwenger is on a 4-0 run at this point, even though they trail by just a point. But the turnover there could prove huge in New Haven's favor if they can capitalize on it. But that one's poked away from behind. Oh, they just get it to Frazier. Her shot doesn't fall, but there's Cheever again. And Lexi Linder left wide open, but it's off the mark. McCarthy, though, puts it back in.
And you can see things kind of snowballing here. The press and turnovers, offensive rebounds. I think Coach Wick has found something here in this first quarter.
That's Linder with the takeaway, and she's going to the line. Well, one thing that's been a key for the Saints has been the offensive rebounding. As we get a look at this next replay, brought to you by Traction Athletic Performance, we'll see one of those rebounds right here. It's Maggie Cheever who pulled it down, and that was the first points of the game for the Saints. That free throw, meanwhile, by Linder was good. She goes 2 for 2.
And you like that if you're Coach Wick. You got Linder, your shooter there, who just hit 2 free throws. Now she's seen the ball go through the hoop a couple times. Let's see if that gives her some confidence on the offensive end.
And there's a takeaway by McCarthy. She jumped the route like a safety and puts it in. This is a 10-0 run by the Saints. And a timeout coming up. It's a full timeout. While they take a timeout, we will take a brief moment here to get in a word from some of our sponsors. Tom Steele Tire has been servicing the Fort Wayne area for over 40 years. They will help you find the perfect tire for your vehicle and other auto repair services such as brakes, wheel alignments, engine diagnostics, and more. Big Eyed Fish has been around the Northeast Indiana area for generations. Like their Facebook pages for updated promotions and enjoy the best fish in Fort Wayne in a family-friendly environment at Big Eyed Fish. You're invited to join ProFed Credit Union, where we get to know you to better serve you. Sign up online in 5 minutes or stop by a branch and join ProFed today to start owning your financial future at profedcu.org. Well, the second chance points proving to be a huge factor in this 10-0 run put together by the Saints. You just can't help but be impressed with the job the Saints have done on the offensive glass.
Yeah, and I think it really all started with the full court pressure. As you look at this New Haven team, I think the real question is, who is your ball handler? Who's going to be able to break the press, make a decision, beat it with the dribble? Williams right now going to be your primary ball handler, but I think the Saints have found something with this press.
New Haven beats the press here, but a good double team there on the block. Loose ball, Linder's got it.
And even that turnover came out of the press.
That's a wide open three for Mackenzie Sokol, and it's no good. Williams with the rebound, pushes back the other way. Left-hand layup is good.
And that might just give the Bulldogs a chance to breathe. Stop the bleeding, a 10-0 run there by the Saints. And they fall back into their man-to-man defense here.
Linder going to fire a three, but it's short. Sokol puts it in.
And again, you mentioned it, that the offensive rebounding. That time it just dropped right into Sokol's lap.
That pass was tipped, and that was Linder who came with the double team there. Loose ball, Williams, Johnny on the spot. She'll put up a three. It's good.
In transition. Shoot it before you turn it over. I like the strategy.
That's 7 points for Williams, and Cheever feeds it to the outside. 3 ball short, and Cheever will get the offensive rebound. Kind of bounced right to her, and how about Linder on the drive?
A little sauce. She couldn't bring it over to the left because of Williams on her hip. Just kept it in the right, and the one-hand finish. I like the sauce from Linder.
Ortiz Vaught from downtown, and that's no good. And there's a rebound by Cheever. This one on the defensive side, and Linder just barely kept that thing from going out of bounds.
Cheever might get to double-digit rebounds in this first quarter. If she does, free Chick-fil-A sandwiches for all fans in attendance tonight. They just said that.
I'd go for that offer.
Bad thing is there's no fans in attendance, so the offer is a little awkward. Garrett into the game, number 3.
That ball is knocked away. Williams comes away with the turnover. Williams down the floor. It's short, and there's Cheever for the rebound.
She is a ball magnet.
Sokol back down the floor, and there's Garrett. That's a 2 if it goes, and it does. A foot on the line, 1 foot on the line, and the other one inside the line. And by the way, Cecilia Garrett, she got to hoist a special piece of hardware this past fall. That piece of hardware was a state championship soccer trophy. This ball goes out of bounds.
And you can just see it on the Bulldogs. They are tired, not a lot of bodies to bring in for Coach Bratton. And no substitutions here in this first quarter. We're 7 minutes in, and the press taking its toll already.
It was definitely a good fall season for the Dwenger Saints. The girls' soccer and volleyball teams both won state. The football team only lost one regular season game. And that's Cheever with the spin move, no good. A drive to the basket by Nard, and she scores in transition.
Nice push there. And again, if New Haven can limit the Saints' offensive rebounding and really just, I guess, not have to take it out of bounds to where Bishop Dwenger can set up the press, if they can limit them to one shot and then not allow the Saints to set that defensive pressure up, I think they're going to be in much better situation the rest of this first half as Williams gets a sub.
That was a jump ball, meanwhile. Possession arrow will keep it with the Saints. The feed into Cheever, off her hands and out of bounds. Did a little bit of lobbying there, trying to claim that maybe Kepke knocked it out, the official not buying it.
And still a dead ball here, so the Saints, you can tell, going to put that full court pressure on as Williams, the primary ball handler for New Haven, out. Nice cut there by, I think that's Teague.
Tamara Wade, I think it might have been. That shot no good, and that's Cheever who pulls down the rebound.
Yes, Tamara Wade, another senior for the Bulldogs.
McCarthy was looking to feed it inside to Cheever. Instead goes to Garrett up top. And she just barely gets it to Sokol. We've got 10 seconds to play, meanwhile, in this first quarter. Can Dwenger get a shot off before the buzzer? Garrett loses it, but it was last touched by New Haven. It'll be Garrett to put it in play. Sokol with a long three. Got it! To close out the quarter.
That was a 24-footer with some arch. Might have touched the cirrostratus clouds here in Fort Wayne.
19-12 at halftime. Back after this for the start of the second quarter on Summit City Sports.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Well, we start the second quarter, and when we get a chance, actually we'll show it to you right now on the Traction AP replay. This is how the first quarter ended. How about the distance from Mackenzie Sokol?
Yeah, you think you got somebody guarded. They hit a 24-footer. Little change out of the timeout. New Haven going to run a set against this now 3-2 zone for the Saints.
That was Clara Burns pulling down the rebound. I mentioned Cecilia Garrett was on that state championship soccer team. Clara Burns was on that team as well. It was indeed a year to celebrate if you were a Bishop Dwenger soccer player or volleyball player, but Garrett couldn't get that one to fall. This is a Varsia Nard down the floor. She has to slow it down and gives it up to Wade.
And you see in the game another 6-foot freshman. We got 2 6-foot freshmen into the game. Iki for the Saints. She's wearing number 33. Really impressed in the JV game just before this. And then Kepke, number 32 for the Bulldogs. So a lot of height and youth on display.
Actually checked with Steve Wiktorowski on this. It's actually AK, like an AK-47. In fact, that was the analogy that he used with me. It's a good one. But a 19-2 lead for the Saints, as this is Sokol bringing it across the timeline. And there is AK, Giselle AK, 6-foot freshman. Oh, wide open is McCarthy, but couldn't knock it down. And AK with the rebound. Loses it, but it's out of bounds off New Haven.
And again, she sought that backside board with some intent there. 2 hands on the Wilson. Coach Wick got to be thrilled about number 33.
Sokol to put it in play, and she finds AK. And the pass stolen away by Wade.
Yeah, well defended there. She defended the back. That was by design. Ooh, almost took it 84 feet for a bucket.
Yeah, couldn't quite finish. Here comes Sokol the other way. No numbers for Sokol. Has it blocked, and it'll be a second chance for the Saints.
Credit the Bulldog defense there, getting back there in transition. Williams just sprinted one end to the other. And that's one thing Coach Bratton said about her group is that their effort and heart, despite their numbers, despite their record, these girls just continue to play, and she loves that about her squad this year.
Garrett with a hand in her face, left it short. The rebound is grabbed. I believe that was Nard who got that one. And it's Williams back the other way. She's able to recover. Little pull-up jumper just inside the line, no good. Nard with the rebound. Couldn't get that one to fall. She made a similar shot earlier in this game, but not that time. Garrett gets it to Sokol. AK couldn't get it to go. And here is Williams back down the floor with the left hand. No good. A second chance. That one doesn't go. And McCarthy comes the other way trying to beat the pack. And she could not put it in. Sokol a little bit too strong as well. And that jump ball should give it to the Saints. It looked like that was the initial signal. And yes, it is a jump ball. Possession arrow to Dwenger. Inbound to Cheever. Linder makes a move. Out to McCarthy from downtown. It's good.
Yeah, that was by design. They run that shooter off of that from the backside. Not an easy catch and shoot, but give McCarthy credit there as Nard quickly.
Right back down the other way. Avarcia Nard. Well, she and Williams have provided all the points for the Bulldogs tonight. That's a block shot, goes out of bounds.
That's 2 for Williams. She has got some length. Timed that very well. And let's see if the Saints run that exact same set. Watch McCarthy here. Going to set the screen. They're going to run her to the corner. Oh, this is a quick post up for the inbounder, Garrett.
Garrett couldn't put it home, and Williams able to snag the defensive board for the Bulldogs.
Not a lot of 5-6 players get post-ups, but Garrett got it in close. Want to try to go window if you can.
I believe when I worked in Minnesota, I saw a 5'11 point guard frequently used in post-up options. That three does not fall, and Garrett is there for the board. Speaking of posting up, there she is on the block again. And the feed to Cheever, a little bit too strong.
And they've missed some bunnies. AK just before that, and then Cheever, boy, you like the way she ran to the rim, just couldn't get the finish.
Wade slicing through defenders, but the shot wouldn't fall.
They got numbers if they push it.
Here goes Linder down the floor, and she's able to knock down the jumper. I don't think she was quite set, but she gets the make.
Well, and you like the decision to stop. Coaches always teach you to stop at the free throw line, allow yourself a chance to make a good decision, read the defense. She stopped there, found herself open. It was an awkward off-balance shot, but hit it.
Weakley tries to feed it inside, and Nard with a second try missed both of them. Williams, the putback doesn't fall, and that's out of bounds. Last touch by Dwenger. There's 2 games going on here in Fort Wayne tonight. The other one is Adams Central at Concordia, and looks like the Cadets have a 2-0 lead. That's very early on over there at Concordia High School. Not too far from here at Bishop Dwenger. A high inbound to Williams. A nice contest by Linder, but Williams knocks down the triple.
And it's a smooth stroke. I don't know if her body balance is great on it, but she's got a high shot pocket confidence to let it go. defensively does a lot of good things as well. Williams made that tough shot difficult for Cheever.
And here comes Williams the other way with no numbers. Oh, almost got that one to fall, but she'll be going to the line.
The other thing you love about watching Williams play is she just doesn't react. She just plays. She's sort of consistent with her emotions and just plays from one end to the next, sprints up and down the floor. And haven't had a lot of opportunities to see her play throughout her career here in Fort Wayne, but I like what I see in this first half.
Williams able to drain that first free throw, and all of a sudden New Haven starting to cut into this deficit. That's 11 points, by the way, for Williams.
We mentioned Cheever, a great chance to get a double-double tonight. Williams, boy, if she's going to get there and watch out. She keeps blocking shots on the defensive end. Watch out, triple-double.
She goes 2 for 2 on this trip to the line, and all of a sudden, New Haven has cut Dwenger's 10-point lead in half. And here's Sokol bringing it across the timeline. Gets around Wade. Wade stays with her.
They're going to run a flex screen off for Sokol.
Sokol with an open three, and it's good.
Boy, nice design, but great execution. And execution doesn't happen without the shot. Sokol, the stroke.
That's 2 made threes in the game for Sokol. McCarthy had the rebound, but then it's ripped away. New Haven gets a second chance, but Williams couldn't finish. And here comes McCarthy. She had Victoria Parent up the floor, and that's a carry.
Yeah, you got to snap the eyes up, see the basket area every time you catch it, miss. You're exactly right, Parent there. And then you see a dead ball chance, or you see Bishop Dwenger again putting on the full court pressure, continuing to wear down.
Parent poked it away. That's a jump ball. That's going back to New Haven. Inbound to Wade. And here's some more of that full court pressure that you were talking about. That's Weekly down the floor, a little bit too strong off the glass, and Cheever will come down with it. Cheever outrunning as the pass tipped, and it goes out of bounds. That does give Dwenger another chance to set up that press, and Sokol, that went off of Williams. That's Dwenger ball. Heck of a job by Sokol defending that inbound.
Little 1-4 low here, out of bounds. Let's see if they run Sokol to the corner. A lot of times you do this, and you're going to look for a cross screen in the basket area, maybe Cheever or Sokol after the inbound.
Avarcia Nard is back in the game.
There's that flex cut on the baseline. Let's see how the Bulldogs guard it. They do.
Over to Sokol, a step back three, a little bit too strong. McCarthy has the board. The feed to Cheever. Oh, couldn't get the roll. And here's Wade, has the pass tipped and right into the hands of McCarthy. She feeds it up the floor for Parent, and she puts it home.
Yeah, and that time they were able to actually put the press on after a missed basket. And now 3 turnovers in a row for New Haven.
McCarthy gives that one up to Sokol. Got 1:33 to go here in this first half. Tough shot by McCarthy, and she was fouled. So 2 shots here for McCarthy. She's already got 7 points, and she will add to that. She is the leading scorer, by the way, for Bishop Dwenger with 8 points now. Well, Concordia is now up 4-0 over Adams Central. And, by the way, Concordia, they are without CeCe Calloway. She transferred over to Southside High School, play for Juanita Goodwell's squad, and Concordia, they're playing some pretty good basketball to start the season.
Yeah, got a win over the Bruins the other day, and really you like what you see out of the 6-foot sophomore, and Coach Miller just continues his winning ways at Concordia.
Concordia went to a sectional championship, and that that kind of stuff we just saw right there won't help you whether you're at a sectional championship or a regular season game. That's over and back on New Haven.
Yeah, sort of caught it in that awkward spot, didn't pivot to just face the basket area. And again, now 4 turnovers in a row for the Bulldogs.
McCarthy was trying to get it inside. Little sidestep by Parent. Is able to regather. Back outside to Sokol. She's hit a couple threes. She'll try one more. And how about another 3?
Coach Bratton less than thrilled about that shot. Going to call a timeout here. I think at 30, but you're right. Sokol in fuego here in the first half.
She's hit 3 threes in this game. Well, we'll go ahead and get in another word from some of our sponsors that allow us to come out and do these games that we get to do. At Ottenweller Contracting, we invest in our customers by providing peace of mind during the entire process from bid to build. Visit OttenwellerContracting.com. Summit Volleyball trains and builds the highest quality volleyball players in the area from ages 5 to 18. Our players are equipped with elite-level skills and a foundation of life skills. Jump on board. Together, we can reach the summit. So now Bishop Dwenger with a 14-point lead, 33-19. The scoreboard here says 33-18. I thought that Williams made both her free throws on her last trip. Inbound goes to Wade. And here's some more full court pressure by the Saints. That pass looked like it was tipped, but New Haven keeps possession, but not for long. Went out off of Katarina Kepke. And with 57.4 to go, the Saints will take over. Now they can hold for the final shot. There's no shot clock in Indiana for high school basketball. Right now you got 50 seconds. If you had the shot clock, it would be in play here, but that is not the case. This is Clara Burns, feeds it over to Sokol. They find Vanessa Cook cutting to the basket. She puts it home.
Yeah, nice curl. They kept it 5 wide. You want to credit the offense for the curl cut, but again, the help side defense needs to be there. Ball moves, you move.
Pass gets tipped, but a good recovery by Nard. Nard, the sidestep, and the finish.
And that was not an easy lay-in. Maneuvered around the defender, Akey, with the nice, we'll call it a Euro.
McCarthy looking for the blow-by. It goes out of bounds off of New Haven.
Coach Wick is calling out 3. Let's see if they got time to set a couple screens for Sokol here.
She nailed a 3 to close out the first quarter. Right now we got just about as much time as there was on the clock before that quarter closed out. McCarthy with a tough shot. She'll go to the line with 1.2 on the clock.
And they run some different actions out of that set there. And that time with 3 seconds on the clock, you had to catch it and attack quick. McCarthy going to have a chance here for 2.
McCarthy is able to knock down the first one. She's had a solid first half, McCarthy has. One of the seniors on this Dwenger squad. And she hits both of them. That gives her 10 points for the whole game. They get it in, but that's off the hands of Williams, and there's 0.5 seconds showing on the clock. Well, for Dwenger, if you're going to get a shot off here, it better be a quick little tip shot. Sokol not going to get it off, I don't think. It doesn't go anyway.
She shot that left-handed, Thad.
You're right.
Almost went in.
You're right. She shot it left-hand. She's a right-handed shooter and shot that one with her left hand to try and get it off before the buzzer went.
I think they should give her a point just for the effort. That is a tremendous attempt out of the sophomore Sokol.
No doubt it is tremendous, and a 37-20 lead for Bishop Dwenger. Well, we will finish out our sponsors here before we go to halftime. Anderson Heating and Air Conditioning is dedicated to providing the best possible solution for your home or business. a system and solution that fits your unique needs. Visit AndersonCoolHeat.com. El Azteca Mexican Restaurant has been a Fort Wayne favorite since 1973. El Azteca Mexican Restaurant has recipes that are sure to tantalize your taste buds. Visit elaztecarestaurant.com. iCryo specializes in whole-body cryotherapy, body sculpting, cryofacials, infrared sauna, and compression therapy services. Check out Jalen Smith's signature location on Coliseum Boulevard by Blaze Pizza. Parkview Sports Medicine continues to lead the way in Northeast Indiana. Our specialized sports medicine team offers direct access to physical therapy and sports physicians in our new Parkview Ortho Express Clinic located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse. No referral is needed, saving you both time and money. Visit parkviewsportsmedicine.com to learn more. Well, Bishop Dwenger with the 17-point lead here at halftime. 37-20 is your score. We'll be back after this break here on SummitCitySports.com.
We have to do this. A bit of a hill.
His mother said, if you're coming to school, you got to bring your sister because they have to go and work in the fields. So this kid carries his 1-year-old sister everywhere.
A lot of those kids don't eat in the morning. A lot of those kids, the only place they do eat is at that school.
I thought going up that mountain, Mary's meals can reach everywhere that there's a hungry child.
Do you see what happens after a simple meal? It just came to life.
Love reaches everywhere.
Parkview Sports Medicine's integrated sports medicine team is built to serve the needs of all athletes in all sports. Our team's only goal is to improve athletes in every facet. PSM offers performance training to help athletes get better on the field, dedicated athletic rehabilitation and physical therapy to help them get better off of it, certified athletic trainers in our PSM schools providing daily support to our athletes, and a specialized orthopedic walk-in clinic when injury strikes. Call 260-266-4007 to speak to our care navigators or visit ParkviewSportsMedicine.com to learn more about what we can do to improve athletes at all levels. Parkview Sports Medicine. Become more. Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.
Joint pain, sprains, strains, or a possible broken bone? Make the Parkview Ortho Express walk-in clinic your first stop when you have an orthopedic or sports injury. Parkview Ortho Express, located at the Sport One Parkview Fieldhouse, gives you access to quick care and orthopedic physicians when you need it most. Get x-rays, treatment, and referrals to Parkview Care, all in the convenience of a walk-in clinic. Call 260-266-4007 for more information.
Thank you for watching Summit City Sports. To help broaden our coverage, we're asking you to become a monthly sponsor to our Patreon account. We produce weekly highlights and live video broadcasts. When the Homestead girls golf team won its first state title in program history, we were there. When Fort Wayne brought back 3 state titles in cross country, we were there. We believe in sharing positive stories and setting the standard for how high school sports should be covered. Join us and donate today.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
We are at halftime, 37-20. Bishop Dwenger with the lead, and a good little surge there early in the first quarter. That's where it started, when they started to put on that full court pressure and really started to pull away.
Yeah, absolutely. That was really the turning point. I think New Haven was up 5-0 to start the game, and as soon as that press was applied, you started to see turnovers. You started to see Dwenger get some easy scoring opportunities, and then continued to use that and really took New Haven out of sync, but also gave the Saints, gave Bishop Dwenger some scoring opportunities that maybe they hadn't seen in those first 4 games.
Well, one thing that Steve Wiktorowski talked about as the keys to victory coming into this game, when I reached out to him earlier this week, was better rebounding. They've certainly gotten that, especially from Maggie Cheever. She had to have must have been 8 or 9 rebounds total in that first half.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, again, we mentioned it as soon as you saw New Haven, as the press took it into effect, if they could limit the Saints to 1 shot and really take it the other way, number 1, you got the defensive rebound. 2, you didn't allow them to put the press on. And so I think that's probably what Coach Bratton is talking to her team about in the locker room, is we need to secure the defensive rebound the first carom and not allow them to get into their press, which is really causing the issues that we had in the first half.
Well, Kayla Williams is the leading scorer for New Haven with 12 points. Avarcia Nard has added 7 points of her own for the Saints. Their leading scorer is Rachel McCarthy with 10. Mackenzie Sokol with 9. She's gotten all her points from beyond the arc. Lexi Linder and Maggie Cheever each have 4 apiece. That's largely the scoring there for you here at the end of the first half as we get closer and closer to the start of the second half. Before we go any further, another word from our sponsors at Parkview Sports Medicine. At Parkview Sports Medicine, it is game on. We serve every level of athlete with our integrated sports medicine team, including the region's only specialized athletic rehab facility. Learn more about our services by logging on to parkviewsportsmedicine.com. So at halftime, a 37-20 lead. We'll be back after 1 minute here on SummitCitySports.com.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left.
Well, we begin the second half here on SummitCitySports.com with Dwenger starting the second half with the basketball. And a reminder that Ariel Edwards is out for the season with an ACL tear. She's one of the New Haven players missing as Dwenger turns it over on the carry. Shania Freeman and Amaya Wilder are also out for this game. So, Andrew, you've talked about the Bulldogs being shorthanded coming into this game. That's just a couple of reasons as to why they're so shorthanded.
Yeah, and so a lot of more responsibility. Coach Brett just asking a lot out of these girls. And if they're going to make it happen, if they're going to turn it around, it's going to have to start on this end with that type of rebounding. You cannot continue to give the Saints multiple opportunities. And
Varsia Nard
look at
down the lane.
Take it coast to coast, but again, she can't do that if she doesn't secure the first one. And again, you saw Dwenger there could not get into their press. That gave New Haven so many problems there in the first half.
That's 4 straight points for Nard to start out the third quarter, and all of a sudden, New Haven with a chance to get right back in this game. They go inside to Cheever, and she rips it away to prevent the turnover, and the basket goes. How about the stick-to-itiveness of Cheever?
And I know Kepke is 32 for New Haven. She's 6 foot. She's just a freshman. But she's got to know that Cheever and even Eki, when she comes in, they're all going to turn. Nice pass there by Wade. But they're all going to turn to that left shoulder. If she can just sit on that left hip, that left shoulder, I think she'll make the scoring much more difficult for Cheever in the post.
That looked like a football-type play there, a little shoestring tackle by Katarina Kepke. Inbound to McCarthy. And here's New Haven with some full-court pressure, but it looks like McCarthy's going to beat it. She does. Trying to take it to the rim, and she gets fouled. And I believe they got Kepke for that foul. So with 6:33 to go, McCarthy will be at the free throw line looking to add to her already impressive night. 10 points for the first half. 11 for the game as a whole now. And Dwenger is able to answer that little 4-0 run that New Haven started this half with. Full court pressure again, and that's McCarthy who's called for the foul.
And again, in this contest, Dwenger just so much more better when New Haven has to take it out of the net where they can apply this pressure.
There's the inbound to Williams. Wade feeds it across the timeline to Williams. Williams the sidestep, and it goes.
That was a tough shot.
And that ball's tipped out of bounds, but Wade could not quite save it.
And again, you see Coach Bratton trying to ratchet up the defensive pressure herself.
Inbound to Lexi Linder, trying to go baseline. Oh, good double team, but stepping out of bounds. Are they going to say, well, I thought the official said white ball. So that would be Dwenger basketball. Dean Pantazzi's been in the line of fire over there these last couple of
The legend
inbounds.
is in the building.
The feed to the corner. McCarthy for 3. No good. Offensive board by Cheever. Swings it up top to Frazier. A step-back 3 by McCarthy. It's good.
And they keep feeding it. She keeps letting it fly. And again, give Cheever credit. Got the offensive board, gave her team a second possession there.
And there was McCarthy going for the steal, but Williams comes back the other way. Williams off the glass. It's good.
That was a 1-on-5 move. She is tremendous in transition.
How about the night that Williams has had? 16 points. We're only halfway through the third quarter, and there's a turnover caused by Williams.
In the first half, she literally had to take herself out of the game because she was so gassed. Plays extremely hard on the floor, does Williams.
This will be New Haven basketball of Arcia Nard to put it in play. We've got 5:12 to go in this third quarter. Nard trying to get it in. She'll direct traffic, and she does avoid the 5-second call. Wade gets inside the three-point line. Linder staying on her the whole way. Loose ball. Wade's going to recover. Nard, the step back, leans in, loose ball. Out of bounds off New Haven. Got to appreciate the hustle, though, by Koepke, even though she didn't get the save. Sub will come into the game. That's Cecilia Garrett. And by the way, she is the daughter of Dwenger head football and baseball coach Jason Garrett. A lob into Linder. Extra pass to McCarthy, and she's going to be called for steps. That basket will not count.
And I think Coach Bratton is kind of realizing she's going to ask even more out of her players, that the press is the only way they're going to have the ability to work back into this game.
A nice vertical by Williams, and she couldn't finish.
Boy, maneuvered around Cheever there and able with that reach to just get the shot up.
Little behind the back dribble by Linder, and there's McCarthy wide open, but it's an air ball.
And Nard is just determined on defensive rebounds.
The sidestep in the basket by Nard.
It's a strong guard.
And off the hands of Williams, I believe. It's going to be Dwenger ball. So this is Garrett to put it in play. Inbound to Cheever. Sokol from downtown, not this time. McCarthy saves it, a little one-hand tap, and that one went off of Cheever and out of bounds.
And again, you see there New Haven able to get a stop. Let's see if they can turn this into a bucket. Go score, stop, score. And who knows what this 14-point lead could become. But again, it's going to start on the defensive end for the Bulldogs. They have to secure the rebound, limit the Saints to one shot each possession. Dwenger now in a little 3-2 zone in this possession.
The feed over to Williams out atop the key.
And this, if you're New Haven, you want to attack the corners. They get it there.
Nard couldn't hit the three, though, and here's Garrett racing down the floor. 3-on-3, and now Garrett will slow it down. Dangerous pass, but Frazier recovers. Drives to the basket, left-hand layup, it's good. Claire Frazier preserves the possession. Trying to get it across the timeline, and they do beat the press for the moment. Loose ball turnover from behind. That's Garrett. And she puts it home. Somehow, Cecilia Garrett kept the pivot foot.
I don't know how she avoided not traveling.
I believe that's Garrett's first bucket of the night. Meanwhile, is that a 5-second call? I believe it is. This is going to be Dwenger basketball. Inbound to Cheever. Over to Sokol. Inside to Cheever, one-on-one. A spin move, gets her own miss, has it poked away, and that's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow gives it to New Haven.
And there's a difference between a senior and a freshman playing in the basket area. Cheever there knew that shot was going to be short, but just pursued her own miss. And again, give her credit for doing that. Got another possession there, and here comes Williams. She is a one-person press break.
Williams left that one a little bit short. Gets her own miss, though. And that time the rebound goes to Frazier. Squeezes it through two defenders to Garrett. And she's going to be called for traveling. That's Nard to put it in play for New Haven, and she does get it in to Tamara Wade. Racing back down the floor is Weekly. Loose ball. Who's got it? It's Garrett who picks it up. Sokol. Good closeout there by Nard. And the pull-up jumper no good from Frazier. Out of bounds, New Haven ball.
Boy, Cheever almost got another one there. And again, talking to Coach Wick before the game about his Saints, what he really liked was the versatility of his group, but also just how mentally positive he really enjoys coaching this group. They haven't had a full practiced with their entire team yet this year, despite the fact that they have 4 games in already. And so still trying to dealing with this COVID, the changes, a lot of the success that the fall sport teams had. And so you can see them really gelling here, and a lot attribute that to their positive attitude and just continuing to play.
Ortiz Vaught, sorry there, Andrew. Ortiz Vaught with a triple, and could Maggie Cheever be any more wide open than that?
She does a great job sprinting the floor, just sprints rim to rim. And her teammates found her there. Now you can see they put her right at the top of this 3-2 zone, that 6-foot frame of Cheever just kind of clogging things up against the Bulldogs.
Back to Wade against that 3-2 zone. Pass is tipped into the hands of Garrett. It was Frazier who tipped it in the air. Garrett looking for the blow-by, but it's poked away by Wade. And she's got an open player down the floor. That's Weekly, and she finishes. Weekly able to cut into this deficit. Try to help New Haven get back in this one. That went off the hands of Cheever and out of bounds. So New Haven now can make it back-to-back possessions with a made basket, and recently into the game is Morgan Farmer, a 5'8" junior. And now Dwenger comes with a full court pressure. And there's Williams off the inbound. Farmer picks her up defensively. Oh, nice defense there by Linder. Does not get the turnover, though. A sidestep by Williams. Her 3-ball no good. And Garrett snatches away the rebound, and New Haven comes up with it. And Nard could not put it in. The second chance no good. The third chance not there. Fourth time's the charm.
Give her credit. She might have got a couple of hits as well. Just sticking with it, the senior. 5 seconds now.
We get a foul called. Linder got nudged from behind there. 3.8 showing on the clock.
And New Haven not really in foul trouble. That might have been a good one, as Linder was probably going to have a lane here. Now with 4 seconds, Dwenger going to have to attack.
Looking for the inbound. It's knocked away. Clock is running. The shot is off, and it's no good. That was Ortiz Vaught, who took the 3 just before the third quarter buzzer, and Dwenger still with the lead, up by 13 as we go to the fourth quarter after this break on SummitCitySports.com. Here at Dwenger, we've got a score of 50-37, and I tell you what, not too far from us, Concordia is leading Adams Central 29-9. How about the job that Dave Miller's squad has done to start this season?
Yeah, Dave Miller is a Hall of Fame inductee waiting to happen. Does a great job with the cadets, and what's interesting about this game is, you almost thought that Dwenger was going to break it open. They had it to 18. You kind of saw it on the verge of 25. And yet New Haven able to claw it back into 13 here as we get into the last 8 minutes.
Dwenger will start the fourth quarter with the basketball. And here is Lexi Linder right off the inbound. Good defense there by Wade.
And when New Haven's been able to get 5-on-5 in the defensive half court, they have been good. It's their easy opportunities off of turnovers where Dwenger's really scored.
It's kind of a difficult left-hand shot for Tori Parent, and New Haven takes over.
And you see the stop there. Again, 5-on-5, able to secure the rebound. But again, here is where Dwenger's really had some offensive success.
Linder couldn't finish, and that's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by New Haven. I tell you what, I thought that thing went off the hands of Garrett.
I think had there been some fans in the stands, you might have heard some agreements with that.
The pass is tipped, and that's Williams with the steal. Williams racing down the floor, trying to beat the pack, and it's poked away. Right back to Williams, and she finishes.
Look what I found. She's on the verge of 20 points.
That might have been Wade who dug that thing up. And speaking of digging stuff up, that's Nard with the steal and the basket right off the turnover.
And this is what Coach Bratton talked about. She loves about her team, their effort, their resiliency. She even used the word grit to describe these girls, and they just keep playing.
Well, this game was at a 17-point lead at halftime for Bishop Dwenger. That 17-point lead has now been cut down to 9. You talk about grit. New Haven has showed plenty of grit this second half.
Yeah, you flash back, 3 minutes ago, and it was a 18-point lead. It's now 9, and all the momentum. I mean, I know there's no fans in the gym, but all the momentum, if you can convince your team, is on the side of the purple jerseys. And a chance here, don't be surprised if they come out in a full-court press here, as it'll be Bishop Dwenger ball going full court.
We've got 7:03 left to go in regulation of this game, and what could certainly be a good game coming down to the wire. And you talked about Kayla Williams being the one individual press break, if you will. She was at it again there.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, if Bishop Dwenger can score, I think they're going to continue to get into that press. And don't be surprised if they try to deny her that entry pass off against the press, get it out of her hands.
Coming out of the timeout, it's a 50-41 lead for Bishop Dwenger. Bishop Dwenger and New Haven both trying to get their first victories of the season. Now, Dwenger will have their second conference game of the season coming up on Monday. That will be against Northside over at By-Hay Arena. Of course, By-Hay was a successful high school basketball coach. He coached the boys team at Northside. That ball's poked away, and Nard couldn't finish. Wade with the offensive board off the hands of Nard. That's Weekly who recovers for New Haven. Her shot gets blocked. Bodies all around the ball, and it's going to lead to a foul.
And Nard is just strong down there. Everything she does with two hands, secures the ball, able to rebound there against taller players, and can have a chance here to go to the line.
Giselle Ake was called for the foul. And Nard is able to hit the first of two. Well, both Nard and Williams have 16 points apiece for New Haven.
And neither team in foul trouble, just 3 fouls on each squad as we move under 7 minutes.
Missed the second one. Linder chases down the board. She gets double-teamed and finds Frazier. Wade brings the double-team. Over the head of Linder and out of bounds.
Yeah, and Vaught was coming there. That ball was either going to be stolen or thrown away. And you like the pressure of the Bulldogs.
Inbound to Williams.
And I would, if I'm Dwenger, I'm almost running a second player at her when she's got it in her hands.
There's a good look from downtown. It's a three. It's good.
She's hit 2.
Avarcia Nard. And now Linder trying to avoid the double team. And Dwenger does beat the press. Linder, with the ball in her hands, gets it over to McCarthy. Here's a pull-up three. That is no good from Parent, and it's out of bounds. New Haven ball.
Yeah, and again, that was Kaylin Ortiz-Vaught on the 3 for the Bulldogs at the other end. She's now hit 2 from that exact same spot. And a little confusion here. I think New Haven's got a chance to get it and go if they can. Nobody's deep for Bishop Dwenger.
They do get it into Wade. They get it up the floor to Weekly. Weekly slows down with Cheever right on her. That one goes off the hands of Williams, and she's able to chase it down. An 8-0 run to start this quarter for New Haven. Williams able to catch the tough pass and gets the finger roll. We got a one-score game here at Bishop Dwenger.
She is so good at shots that you do not practice. Just finds tough angles and gets them to go.
There's a big answer from Rachel McCarthy back on the other end.
You mentioned her name a bunch in the first half as she was hitting some outside shots. But again, Williams just unorthodox, finding the way to get the Wilson to drop through the nylon.
52-47. Dwenger moments ago got their first points of the half. Oh, that was an awkward look by Wade, but she was fouled, and she'll go to the line.
And again, you like that New Haven is in attack mode, continuing to put pressure on the Bishop Dwenger defense, that time drawing a whistle, and Wade now going to step to the line for 2.
It was Giselle Ecke that's Maggie Cheever who's called for the foul. That's her first. Only the 4th team foul against the Saints. New Haven's committed just 3 fouls in the second half. They both rattle out, but Williams gets the offensive board. Weekly with a long pass. Open 3, and that's a foul. That's on McCarthy. Kaylin Ortiz-Vaught was the one who took the shot. And that's McCarthy's second foul, and more free throws coming. 3 of them coming this time for Ortiz-Vaught. And she's able to hit the first.
And again, one of those freshmen for New Haven, they're either seniors or freshmen. Wade, the only junior, 0 sophomores on the roster, on the varsity roster for Coach Bratton. And so youth or experience for the Bulldogs youth right now, hitting from the line.
And just like that, it's a 2-point game.
Knocked them down, back of the rim and down. You call those Brad shots, back of the rim and down. Confident strokes there from the freshman.
McCarthy going to take a 3 in transition. It's good.
Speaking of confidence, McCarthy. That was in transition, pull-up 3, much needed.
Ball goes out of bounds off of Dwenger. And how about the night that Rachel McCarthy has had 22 points, and we still got 4:49 to go. We got a timeout on the floor.
I scored 22 points one time, but it was called my junior year. McCarthy on fire.
We'll be right back after 30 seconds here on SummitCitySports.com.
There are tons of benefits to using compression therapy, but my favorite are speeding up muscle recovery, reducing swelling and inflammation, and improving my athletic performance.
Well, a big 3 moments ago by Rachel McCarthy, and even though New Haven has cut into this deficit, as soon as they get it to a 1-score game, Dwenger has found the answers. This is Tamara Wade. She's guarded by McCarthy.
And I think if you're New Haven here, you got to get the ball into Williams' hand. Nard maybe in the basket area.
That went off the hands of Ortiz-Vaught, and Myquisha Bratton was not happy about the result of that.
And again, though, the Bulldogs turn around, got a chance to apply some full-court pressure. Dwenger does have, I would say, more ball handling than the Bulldogs do. Let's see if they get a chance here and break it.
Garrett directing traffic. She finds Frazier, and she stepped right on that end line.
And that was the first thing Coach Bratton said to me before the game. What's your keys to win? She said defensive pressure without missing a beat, and you see it there.
Into Weekly off the inbound, makes a move, left it short, and there's Cheever with the board, and the pass a little bit too far for Linder.
I was about to give Weekly so much credit for that step through up and under there, but couldn't finish. Bulldogs, though, get another opportunity.
Nard puts it in play to Wade. She's got McCarthy guarding her. The kick out on a loose ball. Going to be picked up by Weekly. Linder right on her, and Linder takes it away. Weekly dribbled it away from her body, and Linder puts it in transition.
Boy, that was tough. Little hide the ball, little off the window as Wade went for the steal. Linder just pulled it back, then laid it in, made that look easy.
57-50, Dwenger leads it with 3:43 to go in the quarter and another turnover. And a foul is called. Well, Coach Wiktorowski said coming into this game that he wanted his team to cut down on the turnovers. Now, they have turned the ball over a good portion in and of their own right, but the defense has also done a great job forcing those turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the lead now 7-3-30. If you're Bishop Dwenger, you got to stay aggressive.
McCarthy out in front of the pack. Tough shot, no good. Cheever crashes and puts it home.
That's why you do the Mike and drill every day. Little reverse lay in there for Cheever.
I remember Mike and layups back when I did basketball camp in middle school.
George Mikan, center for the Boston Celtics, I believe.
Little pull-up jumper, no good from Avarcia Nard, but there's an offensive board by Ortiz Vaught. We've got 3 minutes to go, a 59-50 lead for the Saints. Wade, the floater is good.
But a chance here to set up your press if you're New Haven.
That was a beautiful shot by Wade. A feed to the baseline. Garrett, the jumper, got it.
Much needed shot, and that's a tough one. One of those 12-footers on the baseline. Arguably the toughest shot in basketball, and Garrett able to hit it just under 3 minutes now. See if New Haven has another run in them.
I believe that bucket gives Garrett 6 points for the night. And here's Williams, draws a foul. They call it on Garrett. I tell you, I'm not quite sure what she did there, but...
And if you're New Haven, you got to keep attacking. You're shooting free throws from here on. But get the ball and go north and south towards the bucket. See if you can get a whistle.
Wade, a little bit too strong. Garrett up the floor. A little sidestep, no good. Off the hands of Cheever and out of bounds. Trying to avoid any kind of foul call there as she offered to help Avarcia Nard to her feet.
Nard fell hard.
I think it was Kepke who ended up helping her in the end. We have a timeout on the floor meanwhile. We'll keep it with you for this one and show you a couple of the baskets that took place via our Traction AP replay. This was the basket by Cheever off the offensive rebound, and how about that outlet to McCarthy?
Yeah, and kind of just like, how dolphins kind of find their way in the ocean. McCarthy just kind of found her way, got it off of the backboard, got it to go. And Cheever there again with the putback. Double Cheever. That's what we're going to call her for the 2021 season.
The way dolphins find their way through the ocean. I believe that's called sonar.
Well, and they swim, dolphins, they usually swim in packs, herds, I don't know what you want to call them, schools of dolphins? Pods of dolphins, thank you, Thad. And, Dwenger really working well like a pod of dolphins here in this against this run against that the Bulldogs are putting on.
I'd like to say I'm speechless, but I know where this is coming from. We've got 2:14 to go in this game as Bishop Dwenger started off the fourth quarter a little bit slow, but they seem to have found their rhythm here lately and are starting to pull away.
Yeah, and Coach Wick, obviously you're talking time and score to your team right now. 2:14 remaining. You're up 9. You will take any wide open layup. Other than that, let's work the ball. 5-6 passes. Continue to work it until you find a good shot or you get yourself to the free throw line. Now, that said, they have been very good in their execution underneath out of bounds tonight. Let's see what they draw up here. Watch for the flex action.
They get it into Cheever right off the inbound. The lob is stolen away by Kayla Williams. Feeds it up the floor for Nard. Her shot won't go. And Garrett with the rebound, the 5'7" guard.
And if you're a young guard out there and your coach is telling you to go after rebounds and you think you're only 5'5", you can't do it, watch Cecilia Garrett there. She just put her nose in there and said, I'm going to go after this thing with two hands. Help your team go get rebounds. Young players out there. Go squeeze
Frazier splashes home a 3.
And give Garrett the credit for that 3. If she doesn't get that rebound, Frazier does not get that 3-point look. Huge possession on the other end.
A minute and 27 seconds to go. The clock is running. Over to Ortiz Vaught. She finds Williams. Williams couldn't hit the 3. There's Linder with the rebound.
Nice execution. Coach Bratton drew that up. A couple of screens for Vaught, a couple of screens for Bratton. Just couldn't get it to go.
Over to Frazier. Feeds it over to Garrett. All right, now Dwenger probably content to, well, they would have been content to let some time run off the clock had it not been for the turnover.
Another steal for Williams. She is just a stat stuffer.
Nard off the fake. Couldn't get it to go, and there's Cheever with the board. She's got to have a double-double by now. They get it up to Garrett, wide open. And a room service bucket for Cecilia Garrett. And whistles will blow here. I think we got a timeout called by Coach Wiktorowski. Or maybe not. Player's going to stay out there.
Yeah, I think just substitutions here by Coach Bratton, getting a couple players in.
.2 to go, and Dwenger is going to get their first win of the season. Then they'll have a conference game on Monday against Northside. And I tell you what, even though Northside is a struggling program, they got good leadership over there. Michael Wallace, former AAU coach with Lady Legit. Also a former assistant coach at Carroll under head coach Mark Redding. And that Carroll team, though they lost a tough one yesterday, but off to a pretty good start at 2-1. A lot of season left to play, a lot of big games left to come, and I'm sure Mark Redding has probably been telling his girls to keep your heads high. Season's not over.
Absolutely got a lot of experience over there. Also a lot of height at every position to the Chargers this year. Should be an interesting SAC season, and we have to say that, obviously, because of no SAC tournament. But the Saints now can put one in the win column, Thad.
66-52 is your final. No doubt a good win for the Bishop Dwenger Saints. Had its interesting moments, if you will, but Bishop Dwenger comes out on top, gets the victory.
Yeah, and again, both teams coming in 0-4, and so Coach Wick mentioned, he hadn't really had a chance to practice with this group, but he also mentioned, look, we're dealing with nothing that no other program is dealing with. Everybody's fighting through challenges and missing players and missing time, and so that's just going to be part of the season, both girls and once the boys start up with games next week, that coaches and players are just going to have to mentally deal with. And so congratulations to the Saints on their first win of the 2020-21 season.
So we'll go ahead and read off the final scores for you before we go to our final break and sign off. Leading scorer for New Haven was Kayla Williams. She had 18 points. Avarcia Nard with 16. Kaylin Ortiz-Vaught with 9. For Bishop Dwenger, the leading scorer was no doubt Rachel McCarthy. 22 points for her. Maggie Cheever not far behind with 10 of her own. Mackenzie Sokol with 9. She hit 3 threes in this game. And then Cecilia Garrett added 8 more. Lexi Linder added 6. A great team effort by Bishop Dwenger. Obviously, you got to give credit to Rachel McCarthy. No doubt she had a heck of a game. But Maggie Cheever, I'm pretty sure she had a double-double in this one, and a heck of a night that she put together.
Yeah, and so, again, Coach Wick mentioned the versatility of his group, but you're right, the shooting from McCarthy tonight, but also Sokol, and you can see that only improving as they get more and more practices under their belt, and obviously they're going to need it in a tough SAC conference this year.
Well, for our Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game, got some options, but go ahead and announce Maggie Cheever as our Parkview Sports Medicine player of the game. That double-double she put together, and it really started on the offensive side with those offensive boards that she had.
She attacked it. And again, we've been watching her play at the varsity level for a couple of years here for the Saints. And again, she just attacks the ball differently this year. I feel like she's just gotten stronger, much more confident, especially against defense down in the basket area, more comfortable around the rim, and just is doing some things that maybe 2 years ago as a sophomore at this level she couldn't quite finish, and so it's nice to see her progress in the program.
So Bishop Dwenger gets the victory, 66-52. They will head back to the court on Monday night as they head over to Northside High School, not too far down Clinton Street, and that is where they'll be for their second SAC game of the season. Their first SAC game was here against Snyder a week ago, but Dwenger wins this one 66-42. For Andrew Wiss and our camera operator, Lindley Kistler, this is Thad Goff saying so long from Bishop Dwenger High School. You've been watching high school basketball on SummitCitySports.com.
This is an invitation to join a movement propelled by people who care and members who have a share in the place they bank.
Good morning, Sam.
So when you have the chance to get your first home loan, you know an expert will guide you every step of the way. Or when it's time to buy your new car, you'll be treated like more than just a credit score.
Good news, ProFed can get you that payment.
This is an invitation to a place where simply belonging can help enrich your whole community. ProFed Credit Union. You're invited.
I was once a Southside kid who was led on a journey by high school football. A journey that taught me discipline, toughness, and the skills that made me a success. As a businessman with a CPA license who owns his own firm, I still use the building blocks of high school sports in my everyday life. Someday sports will end no matter what level you reach, but you will be left with the skills to compete in the next game, the game of life.